Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Web3 Builder Voice podcast. I'm Leo, the founder. We are a private community of Web3 builders from Vietnam and beyond, shaping the decentralized web future. So thank you for tuning in today. So today we have a very special guest, also a friend of mine from Web3, Lynn Nguyen, the CEO of Saros. So Lynn has a fascinating background, coming from Vietnam to the US and transitioning from traditional finance and institutional crypto operations to now building a Saros, which is a complete integrated liquidity hub on the Solana ecosystem. So today we'll spend a bit of time explore her journey, the lesson that she learned from high-stake decentralized world, and the playbook for building resilient DeFi plays. So let's dive in. So GM Lynn, thank you for joining us.
GM.
Yeah, happy to have you here. So I think your career path and your journey, I think you and I share quite a bit of similarity. But we both came from Vietnam, like made in Vietnam, went to the US, studying, working, spent quite a bit of time there. So maybe can you start by telling us a little bit about your background, what got you here, and then your overall journey?
Yeah, so we speak about Vietnam. So I born and raised here until I was 15, and then went to school, high school in Canada, university in the States, and then decided to stay there and then work there for a long time. Finally have the opportunity to come back a couple months ago. So I'm like between places now, which is really nice. Like Vietnam is definitely like the place to be. Infrastructure is so nice. Things are cheap, and also it's very safe compared to like any other places right now, like Europe, US, not so great. But anyway, my background, I started my career in like hedge fund, always like in operations. Actually, no, I started as like a financial, like an equity analyst, and then I realized I hated it because like I would wake up at 3 a.m. and check like pre-market price and then get so stressed out. Uh, so yeah, and then realize like I don't want to be like so like aligned with the market at all. Like I just want to be more of like an operation side, on the operation side, make sure things work, things function. That's what I really enjoy doing. So I did that for a few years in the hedge funds space. Got quite bored because of like the routine job, and also like certain events happen. And then I worked there for like a few years, and I really wanted to have a promotion, and then it just got like straight out denied. Like they didn't like my manager didn't even like mention about it. I asked about it, and they like, you know what, it's not the time yet. But I'm like, well, it's been 3 years. And then at the same time, my friend Harrison, he was also talking about Bitcoin. Like he was raving about like buying pizza with Bitcoin and things. Like at the time, Bitcoin was like at $6,000 or something like that. ETH was like pretty cheap too, few $100s, I think. So yeah, that was my first trade, and then I got poached into a crypto brokerage company. It's called Falconex. They're still around till today, in 2019. So that was my boot camp into crypto. Like I was doing a lot of like sending, receiving different kind of assets on chain. So that was interesting. And I was also very fascinated with like the settlements period too. So like in equity, when you send something, it's T+2, meaning that it takes 2 days for you to receive assets like money and things like that. And then with like the weekend too, it becomes like 4 or 5 days. So that was just crazy. And then I also read like the Bitcoin white paper, and was just like so fascinating to me. So yeah, joined Falcon X, say like worked there for like a year, and then joined Alameda. Also like that's a lot of settlements, but on a much bigger scale. And then when FTX US acquired Blockfolio, that's when they had like about 600,000 like active users. I went there as like the head of operations, settlements, help with like building out different kind of department, from like compliance to like customer support, operations, all that good stuff. A lot of exciting things happened during that time. So like, I remember like they had like their name right to like the Miami Heat Stadium. And it was such a big deal at the time because it was the first big deal that happened with like crypto company. And now you hear a lot, like you see like Kraken with like F1 and all that, but like back then it was like the first thing. And I was there in the stadium too. So it was like a huge moment. But yeah, we all know what happened with FTX. And then I was there until like past bankruptcy, but then left shortly after that. Took about 6 months sabbatical. Learned to enjoy life a little bit after like the crazy cycle crypto, and then joined Cube Exchange, which is an exchange built by like a few Solana OG. It was like pre-operation at the time, helped with raising, and also like did really good trading too. And then they probably will they're going to get acquired very soon. This is public information, so it's a big deal. But anyway, I left a couple months ago because I really wanted to go back to Vietnam. I really wanted to like mentor people. I feel like I have a lot to give, and so like I joined Saros, which is like DAX on Solana. That's like very much focused on liquidity. So yeah, that's like the TLDR of my background.
Very cool. Couple things to unpack here. So first, I would love to talk more about your time at FTX. I think that it's like very juicy stuff, right?
Yeah.
Maybe tell us
People
more
pay
like
money for it, by the way.
yeah. I mean, I think all in
Yeah.
all, now I think all the FTX claims are like couple, like I think at least like $1 something on the dollar, right? So people made money
Yeah.
at the end. I think SBF was on Twitter the other day once again, like, yo, I should never have walked away and all that. But like, I want to ask you a little bit, like, what would that time like for you? Like, being with Alameda and FTX, and then going to like the whole bankruptcy and stuff. Like, how was that crisis for unfolding? And then what was it like to be like in the middle of it?
It was almost like a movie. I remember like I was like there's like everybody was like messaging me to see if they can get their assets out. And then like for me at the time, like me with my team, we just like tried to focus to help as many people as possible. Some of us even like forgot to withdraw our own assets, so which is silly, but it's definitely shook a lot of us to the core. We worked there, and then we really like I really like the company. I really like the culture. I also like believed in Sam vision. Um so there's like quite a bit of betrayal in that. But um honestly, I think it's one of the most well-run machine or like culture out there because we believe in a vision. So like we work day and night without questioning much. So that was great. Yeah, definitely a good lesson. Now I think about it, I think it's very funny to be part of that time. Nothing really like affects me anymore after leaving through that time because like went through a lot of like legal trouble. I mean, the people who hired me went to jail, so that's quite sad. But it is what it is, and also it gave me like a very good lesson on like who to trust and then who to not trust, and yeah.
How did some of that like learning experience like transfer over to your new roles? Like maybe at Q first, and then now at Saros. Like maybe in terms of like operational, like the crisis management, operational management, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like so, what have you learned and what have you taken away from that experience?
Yeah, I mean, crypto is like in like a crazy cycle, right? It goes so fast. It's happened so fast, but it's also dies so fast. Like people chase after like the quick narrative or like what's the hype or what's hot out there. There's just a lot of boring functions that like a company need to pay attention to. There's a governance function, like you need to make sure your assets stay somewhere, it's safe, doesn't get hacked, it doesn't get stolen. Multi-sig or like MPC, it's like extremely important. Um, like I know, like I know I was in settlements and I want to send assets fast, but then like if we go to the wrong place, then I mean, excuse my language, but it's just fucked. Like it's gone. The accounting aspect is very important too. Like I do think one of the pitfall with like FTX too is that like we did not count like the assets correctly. Therefore, like that we assume there's a big hole, but maybe it didn't at the time. Like, and we don't know, like everything went wrong, but the accounting department or like aspect didn't like wasn't well taken care of. But yeah, compliance too. My thing is that I always tell people is that like it's fine, like you lose all your money, but you do not want to go to jail because that's pretty much the end of it. So yeah, legal, compliance, accounting, all those things are very boring. It costs money to build departments like that, but extremely, extremely important.
It's actually funny you mentioned like accounting because I read SBF post the other day and he used to like go through a postmortem about like where did the money go.
Yeah,
And so it's really funny because at the end, like you look at the ODA FTX asset, actually a lot more than what met the eyes, right? So they I think they sold like some Anthropic shares super early. It's like
yeah,
sub 1 billion, and now the company is like, I think it's like $50 billion company. So if that could have been held on, then it's like a 50x payday for all the FTX creditor and shareholders. So yeah, I completely agree on that.
and there was a bankruptcy case. So
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think like say what you want about SBF, but like I think from my perspective, he was truly a visionary, right? He invested a lot of things early on. Anthropic, the 1-0 robot, like the one that's like been jumping around like in the past few days on Twitter, like
yeah,
waking you up and all that. I think he was
yeah,
an early investor as well, so definitely there's something there. And
yeah.
personally, I think would love to see him coming back, building new thing. Maybe be more
Yeah,
careful this time. Don't
yeah,
fuck up your legal and compliance as much.
yeah.
Cool. So talk more about
But
Saros.
there's
Yeah.
one thing I want to add. He's also surrounded himself with a lot of like good people. Like they're so talented and they work so hard. Like I learned so much from like the people I worked with at like FTX. Like today until today, we still keep those connection. There's like Amani, Backpack, bunch of other people too. So yeah, we all actually went somewhere and then do something useful with like the experience that we have.
You still talk to the Alameda people?
Yeah, yeah, we're still good friends. Yeah,
Cool. I mean, hopefully they all went on and build new things and be a good force for the industry. That's hard to find, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
cool. Well, let's talk about Saros because I think that's what you're working on now. So Saros, I think, as I understand, is like a comprehensive like liquidity suite for DeFi. So can you share a bit more
Mhm.
about like what brought you into Saros? I don't think you were the one started it, but like now you're the one running it. Uh,
Yeah.
what do you think? What do you think about what you guys the work you're trying to do over at Saros, and like what's your inspiration for keep growing it and like scaling it and take it to the next level?
Well, I spent a lot of years in centralized exchanges, and then um, things are a lot different in centralized exchanges. So, like the listing process takes very long. It's very opaque. Um, it's also like anytime you want to list something, like there's like a 10 days period of reviewing DD. It's just not fast enough, and also like there's like the component of like off chain order book and all that too. So I just like these days I just like everything more on chain. It's more transparent. You can track things a lot easier. Uh, but also like with the deck space, like everything is like just a lot more efficient. It's like if you want to launch a token, you just launch it and then like sort of like go to pump.fun and then hopefully it's like meet the bonding curve and then like things just happen from there. But yeah, with Saros, we want to be the liquidity hub. There's just like a lot of idling assets out there. So like a good example is like um you probably a lot of people are probably sitting on like a good reserve of bonk and then it's not doing much right now. And then if you put it there, like if you start a pool, maybe like Bong USDC or Bong something, then you earn fee from like trading activity that routed through that pool. And then the other beautiful thing about like Solana is that the the router, the aggregating router on Solana works so well. There's like Jupiter, there is Titan now, there's DFlow. So like it's happened very efficiently. So as long as like there's liquidity, there'll be trading most of the time. So yeah, just like a good way to like do something with like your idling assets.
Cool, got it.
Mhm.
So how would Saros become like, well, remain and become like compete like competitively relevant? I think there's a lot of like different players in the space right now, like Meteora being one, right? So basically, a liquidity optimization aggregator and all that. So how would
Yeah.
Saros be competitively viable in this market and in this space?
It's actually like a question we're still trying to solve until this day. Like it's evolved very fast. Like when there's Orca, Radium, Meteora, but then there's also now the prop AMM. The prop AMM is actually the biggest threat to like the DEX space right now. Um, so like the way for Saros is we need to continue to evolve, like to do new things and then figure out an edge. And what to do, I can't reveal yet because we still are looking into like the best way to do it. But I think for any project, like we just need to continue to evolve, and especially like in the bear market too, is like such a good time to stay quiet and just like figure out like what's the next things. We're looking into like BTC, we're looking into RWA, like things that people haven't touched yet. So yeah, there's those like potential initiatives.
So basically tapping into like niche markets, niche asset, and then provide like the best way to like optimize yields and liquidity
Yeah.
position from those areas, right?
Yeah. I personally like, because of my finance background, like I like RWAs a lot. Like I'm a lot, and then if anyone has a good idea, please ping me on this. Like I love to figure out how to art on like on-chain and off-chain pricing, because there's such a big gap between the two. So yeah. Mhm.
Well, I mean, would you think that that's more like an Oracle problem with RWA assets, or is that just like because of the inefficiency in the current market?
It's not an Oracle problem. I mean, it's like a combination of Oracle problem, but also settlements problem, right? So like if you have TBL, then it takes like certain time to if you get TBO, you get paid, and like there's like certain gap between like the timing. And then like when things happen on TradFi, it happen a lot slower than it's on chain. So like prices doesn't get reflecting fast enough. There's also like the cross chain like mispricing as well. So like with RWA, it's on different chain, then there's like a little bit of mispricing to it too. I mean, like a good example is actually USDT on like different chain can have like a small like marginal difference too. So there's always gap like that. I mean, during the early day, like also like why I would like to go into crypto so much is that I would look at Bitcoin prices in different centralized exchange, and I'm like, this is a big gap of pricing. And then like I was like very interested in figuring out like how to like close that gap, because those are like pretty much like risk-free like profits. Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
there's also cases like where people just like arbitrage between like different markets, right? So like let's say
Yeah.
something get listed in Korea and it immediately go up,
Yeah. The
then that
kimchi people.
up into it. Yep.
Yeah. It still happens a lot. Although, like, I mean, crypto now versus like crypto many years ago. Like, crypto now is so popular, you don't see those like opportunities much anymore, but it's still there. I think, especially with RWA, you see a lot more.
Got it.
Mhm.
All right, I want to follow up on Saros a little bit more on this. I think one of the things that I've heard you spoken in the past, like on panels at Conviction, et cetera, was I think how you guys want to take Saros to like mass adoption. So say like
Yeah.
bring on the next like 100 million users to the Solana ecosystem to the Saros platform, right?
Yeah.
So any particular ideas in mind or any particular angles in mind that you guys will do that, like maybe through Saros Swap or like some of the other product you guys working on right now? Care to share more about like what your aim is going to be for this goal?
I mean, a small feature we're doing is actually concentrated incentives. So like I'll just give a good example. So like when you add liquidity into a pool, like sometimes the rewards like get distributed towards like everyone, but then now we want to like incentivize people to like offer liquidity in like certain tight range. So like especially with stablecoin, you want it to stay like within like 0.9999 cents to $1. You don't want people to like contribute elsewhere. So we want to be able to like reward people who provide like rate like liquidity within that range. So it's that one feature we're doing. But on the bigger picture, we are looking like beyond just like projects on Solana. We want to bring yield from like different ecosystem into Solana too. Like the EVM ecosystem has like a lot of product with good yields. Like we are talking to several of those projects and see like what are like the DeFi cool things we can bring into Solana.
So like stuff like RWA, Bitcoin, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, or like yield from EVM, Arbitrum, Polygon, and all that good stuff. Or like there's also like modular lending and all that too. Yeah.
I mean, lending in EVM is a bit dangerous right now because of the recent hack, right? I mean, everyone used balancer code, and the exploitation was so crazy. I read today in the Squared Out group chat, like the guy basically did like similar tactic with Kyber hack, right? So they did like a routing number error, and then use that to reconfigure the pool, and that's how they hacked into the pool and took everything. I was like, shit, like, I mean, it's like some giga brand, like mathematical genius kind of playbook, right? So I don't know about that, but I think that's definitely something potential. So talk more about collaboration with Saros, right? You mentioned before that you wanted to work with builders who also want to build something either like within the Saros ecosystem or like something that can be integrated into Saros. So I guess like what kind of project or like what kind of builder profile you guys looking for, like, you know, and then how would they work with you? Like what would be the mechanism for that?
I mean, we're looking for like people who want to build on DeFi, right? It's like to build on chain. Could be various like projects. So I mean, the other thing that I'm looking into too is like back to RWA and then BTC or like BTC wrappers. There's like no trading activity. Or like there's no like there's like some trading on primary market, but there's also like no secondary market. So like someone who can figure out how to get people to trade more, it could be like referral system, it could be point system or anything like that, because like trading activity is pretty much like positively correlated with like liquidity pool. So like as long as there's trading happen, like liquidity pool will earn fees, and then that fees go back to like the LP. So we want to solve like the trading issues. But anything also with like UX UIs, like setting alerts on like for example, like if I LP and then I'm out of range, then there's like a bot remind me, hey, come back, fix your range, so you can earn fees and things like that. That would be super helpful too. Like Telegram bot messages and things like that. Honestly, we're pretty much like very open to many things. Like we also set aware, like we can also allocate like a Saros like token treasury just to work with builders. We can give it to them. It's like incentives, or like we can also do different kind of grants. I mean, I'm looking for like solid builders who want to build long term. Like we do have like a pretty solid like core team. So I've had a lot of years in like for crypto, TradFi, our strategy guy, like he founded like a few like projects as well. There's also like the founder Tan, who's like from Coin 98, and then like we can leverage a lot of like 98 resources from here too. So there's a million ways to do this, and we can help on like the partnerships like aspects too. I do notice that like a lot of projects, like they don't have that like strength because of, I mean, it's not cheap to have like a strong BD person, or like it also takes a lot of time to build partnerships. The only reason I know so many people is I've been doing this for so long. So it's like mostly come from experience. So yeah, we can help on those, and then like funding, we can help on BD, partnership, connections, advice, yeah, all of that stuff.
Okay, here's something that wasn't on the table before, but since you mentioned like the help and stuff, I think I want to ask a follow-up question on this. Like, you have to look at the one thing, and it's something I think we had a conversation before, so I want to hear you say it more on like publicly.
Yeah.
So what you have to pick like three things that Vietnamese builders, like Vietnamese builders in like the Vietnam-based builders can do to improve. Like that, like so they can become better builders, better founders. What would that be? Maybe three things, or maybe one thing.
Long term, less short term. I think we are accustomed to very much focus on short term gain, which is great. It works, but also like I have this like one of the reason I come back to you is that I don't want us to be like the outsourced like dev shops anymore. Like I want us to be able to build like world class like products that people use and think of. So and honestly, it's actually a very hard problem to have because like you have the hierarchy of needs. Like you build something and you need to be able to pay your employee first. You need to be able to buy your next meal first and things like that. So it's definitely like hard to focus on long term, but there's something very novel about being able to build a product that everyone use and knowing it's like from Vietnamese builders. So like a few good examples like Kyber or like Pandos and things like that. Like people know it's like our Axie Affinity and things like that. And people know it's from Vietnamese founders. So like those are, I want to see those more. And I love to be able to mentor and help and actually like leverage my network for like those projects.
Very cool. I'll reach out to you for that. I think between Square Out, like we also like kind of like start running like these mini incubators. I share with you, right? So Square Builds is what I call it, and literally just like every batch, like we'll work a different foundation, and then so first batch was like List, which is an EVM layer 2, and then second batch was like Solana. So we got a bunch of like builders coming in, and then we help them with like storytelling and all these things. So like very excited about that. And I think this is something that in our position, like at least in my position, someone who used to be in venture capital and now like doing like Web3 community, I think that's something that a lot of builders in Vietnam, and I totally agree, right? I think everyone look at short-term gains, like a survival instinct, than more than actually trying to build something that can like become a multi-cycle play, right? So like Kyber, Pendo, Axie Infinity, Ronin, maybe even like 98. Keep reinventing, keep pivoting, keep building cool things on the blockchain. So I think that's something that we'd love to see more in the coming years. I guess we
I actually have one more thing to add to. Like, I think it's like very easy to do copy and pasting, but then if like we do copy and pasting, I think about what you can do significantly better. Like I hear a lot of like, oh, we're just gonna build like an axiom, but like mildly better. But then the problem with that is like, why would people use something that's just mildly better than axiom? Because like like it takes time to like learn the product again, and also like there's like the reputation question and all that too. And then like the other thing is like focus on like the issues and then what the product can fix first, rather than like build a product and then figure out the issues that it'll fix. And I mean, these are like the question I ask myself all the time with like Saros as well. So it's like definitely like a good reminder for like pretty much all builders out there.
Interesting. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Cool. So I think that's all the question I have about Saros, and we might go back to it in a little bit about like the topic, but I wanted to switch gear back to yourself. So I think you share with us a lot about like your journey, like Falcon X, Alameda, FTX, Cube. So ranging from TradFi and DeFi and centralized change and decentralization plays. So I think through all that, like you have to look back and give yourself a couple of advice. What would they be?
Honest, I don't know if I will give myself any advice. I would just be very thankful for just like take the leap into like Web3. I remember when I quit my job, then people were like, why would you be chasing after fake money? And my parents said the same thing too. And I honestly think if I didn't take that like leap of faith, like I will never be like the C-suite or anything like that. Like it was impossible to get promoted. Like it would probably take a normal person 20, 30 years to get to like where I am today. Especially like tiny Asian girl in America. Like it's like just like impossible. Like the chance is very slim. So there's that. Yeah, honestly, no advice. I think I do pretty well in the last few years. So yeah.
Very cool. I mean, it's kind of similar to my journey as well. I think when I quit like VC, like because I used to be a Web2 VC guy, right? So I quit my job in VC in like 2021, 2022 to go all into like crypto and then just like spend all my time researching and like doing stuff in the crypto space. My parents like, what the hell are you doing in your life? Like, are you crazy? Like,
Are you scamming people?
like do you need money that bad?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's what I was like, no, I mean, just calling, right? Like, did your parents ask you the same questions like when you were moving into crypto?
Yeah, all the time. They're like, why would you do this? And also like from a traditional finance job to like a crypto job, it's a big shift. So like I remember I was like doing 8 hours a day. To crypto, I remember I started at 8 and then like could not even close my laptop until like 2 a.m. So like for a longest periods of time, like I actually was questioning myself too. I'm like, why did I do this to myself? But I do think it pays off. Like I looked at like a lot of like I talked to a lot of my former worker at the hedge fund, and then like one of the places I worked for, like they went through a lot of layoffs. Like I think they like let go of like 70% of the people. So like when you work somewhere for like 20 years, like it's really hard to also find a different job too. I think like being crypto makes us like train our resilience quite a bit. Because like I mean, how many cycle have we lived through already? Yeah. Like how many bear markets or like micro bear markets that you've lived through already. So like nothing really like scares us anymore.
Yeah, man, we living through one right now, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the
Yeah.
market has been so crazy in the last few days.
Yeah.
Well, since you mentioned resilience, right? I want to maybe follow up on that. So having been an operator, and then now like a founder, what advice would you give to like builders um, about resilience? Like how would they go about dealing with the volatility and the uncertainty of this industry?
I guess you really have to believe in your product, or at least like believe on the people you work with. Like those are really helpful. And then like because like when bear market happens, like you see so much negativity on the timeline that makes you like pretty much like question yourself, and also like just like the market and everything in general. Like just focus on what you build, focus on like the good people around you, also like focus on your health as well. Health is wealth. Nothing is like nothing is worth it really. I do think like even if you lose everything and then if you still have health, you can just like make money on like the next product or makes like the next trade. Um yeah, the momentum, like the bad momentum will pass pretty soon. Like people forget things very quickly in crypto. Doesn't take them years. It takes them like 2 weeks. Like I do remember, like I get flooded, and then just a couple of weeks ago, now I don't even remember much about it anymore. So there's that. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a saying something like there's never a boring day in crypto, right? Every
yeah,
day wake up and some either some really cool stuff or like some really weird shit happen. Like
Yeah.
I still remember like talking with like a bunch of people from Kyber.
Mhm.
You know, like the day after Kyber got hacked, they all woke up like, oh fuck, I need to find a new job. It's
Yeah.
like imagine being that, and I think for you that was like the FTX moment, right? Where like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what happened?
Yeah.
So I think be it like even you're an employee like working for a crypto company, like you never really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree. The best thing you can do is to stay balanced, stay healthy, and just keep yourself, like take care of yourself. And I would say to take care of your loved ones and the people around you as well.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
face whatever is coming next.
Also, there's so much more beyond crypto and then Twitter and all that. Like, there's like fun things, like go out for a walk and then like hang out with your pets or like loved one, kids, and I don't know, but there, like I actually when I lost when I quit FTX, or like did I quit FTX or I got laid off? I got laid off at FTX. I was pretty depressed, but then very shortly after that, I realized how nice it is to not have a job and not to be on like Telegram all the time. There's just like so much more of like nature I could find. Like having a nice like quiet walk is super nice too. So definitely try to stay balanced and then be out the bubble too. Like if you do make too much money, maybe think about doing charity and all that stuff too. There's a lot of people who like needs money. So yeah.
What's your non-crypto routine?
Yeah.
Mine's pickleball. I play I think 10, 15 hours a week.
Yeah. I do spin classes a lot.
Nice.
Like a few times a week. That's like me going to the club without the alcohol. So also like a lot of like a little bit of weightlifting too, or like swimming and
Nice.
yeah. Honestly, in Vietnam though, eating good food. The food is just so good. So
It's hard to keep your weight down. Yes, I've been back. This is my 8th year being back to Vietnam. So I came back
yeah,
2017, right? And I've been
yeah,
working here for straightforward for the last 7 years. This is my close to my year number 8 being back. I
yeah.
went from being like I think I was 160 pounds or like 67 kilograms. Now I'm at like 80. 78. Try to lose some weight.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it is so hard. Yes, like just like food heaven, right? Everyone agrees. So
And beer
it's so
too.
hard. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is so hard
you
to
have to drink beer. So yeah.
used to as an investor guy. Like I think a lot of the time you just hang out with people drinking beer, and that's how you get the deals done.
Yeah.
I guess different culture out here. Like people get like to bond over like a drink or like a lot of drinks, and then that's how you get to know each other.
Yep.
Now that I'm in crypto, I switched to like coffee,
Good.
bubble tea. But,
Healthier.
like yeah, because
Elegant
all the Gen Z
people.
people, all the Gen Z people in crypto, like they don't drink beers. They like milk tea.
Good. Good. I actually get a lot of like people to go to spin classes with me, like people in crypto to go to spin classes with me. So that was fun.
You guys do like a team hangout at the spin class or no?
Yeah, we do like a team bonding activity there. And last time I took like my team there, someone turned to me and they're like, I hate you, Lynn. Like, why do you do this to us at like 9 a.m. in the morning? Yeah.
Well, it is good cardio. They appreciate later, right? I brought a lot of people from crypto into pickleball, like friends from Argentinians. We used like at Squad Out, we used to host like these weekly like pickleball session last year when I had the time. So on board must be like dozens of people into pickleball, and now there's like other people within the community hosting like recurring pickleball lessons and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool, and I think it is a good way to stay healthy, stay balanced, and to not lose your shit when like days
Absolutely.
like when the other day happened where like everyone get liquidated. Just go to the gym, just go work out, just do whatever you need to do.
Go punch some bags.
Yeah,
like
same.
live some wage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have friends who do that too.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's the time. That's all the time we have. I think this has been a great conversation. So thank you, Lynn. I've
Thank
learned so
you.
much about you as a person, also your experience and what you have done. I really love the part about like how to stay disconnected from crypto from time to time because I do that too. So
Okay, I'll tell
yeah,
you. I did just one more thing. I
sure.
did this like a couple weeks ago when there's just a lot of negativity towards me. I shut down Telegram for 2 days.
Hmm.
And it's actually life changing.
Just delete the app and everything.
No, I just turned off the notifications.
Okay.
And then just like having like a calm, quiet days and then go eat good food and then realize that like I actually haven't like made an effort to make friends in Vietnam at all. And then and then went out to like talk to people and socialize a little bit. It definitely like helpful. It was very helpful. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Cool.
So other than that, like any other final words for the podcast listeners, for the people who will be tuning into this?
Yeah, I mean, bear market seems like the end of the world, but it's not really. I mean, also like Bitcoin is still at 100K. I remember like when the first bear market happened to me, it was like Bitcoin was like at $2,000 or $3,000. So
Ooh,
like
that was
nothing to be nothing to be afraid of. I do think like the crypto adoption is like it's there. Like there's just like a lot of institutional people trying to get in crypto, and then it is a real thing. So just focus on building that something that's like matters and then get widely used. And honestly, at the end of the day, try to have fun with your job, um, and stay healthy.
Sounds great. Cool. Thank you, Lynn. And I hope we can do this again. Maybe
Yeah.
on we should be hosting like a coffee chat or like maybe a meal tea hangout or something, so more people
Yeah.
can join us like in person. The only reason we're doing this online because, well, one, I'm lazy, and two, we need to record this. So
You can
for
also hire me as a moderator.
we
I can
will,
do
we
that
will.
too. Yeah.
There will be a lot of things that like we as Square DAO want to do moving forward, and this podcast is just one
Yeah.
of it, right? We want
Hmm.
to create like a source of knowledge for like OG builders and OG founders to connect with like early stage builders and founders. So this is one way, and eventually hopefully we'll do more like offline activities where we can invite people like you to come in and just maybe share,
Yeah.
like just very very candidly, very openly in a very like closed door setting about like the challenge and the mentality and the journey. I think I love to do that. But for
Yeah.
now we starting with the online version first, and eventually we'll scale it.
Hey, I love I mean, listen, I love you. I love supporting Squared Out. So just let me know.
Cool.
Anything. Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Alrighty. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you very much for sharing. And then to all people who will be tuning in later, would you enjoy the episode? Like, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, keep building.
Alright.
All right.
Take care. You too.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.